Hey guys, Aquabike Guy here, and today I wanted to talk about race season planning because it's so important when we look at where we want to perform and where we want to do that we need to start planning what races we're going to do, when we're going to do them. So when I look at my season, I like to start planning my season around what I call my A races. Now, these are generally the race that I want to peak at. My fitness needs to be on par, peaking. I'm going to taper to them. My nutrition's all to them. Basically, everything I've been doing in my base and my build and my specialty phase is all ready right to building this A race. And in a season, you want to look at saying a season, you'll have 1, 2, maybe 3 A races if you can make it. But that third A race generally isn't really where you want to be. You want to be in about a 2A race season. So this year I've got 2 A races. I've got the ITU Denmark World Championships in July, and then my second A race is going to be in September in Niagara Falls Barrelman, put on by Multisport Series. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through my A races, but then I also got some B and C races. So a B race is more of like a race where you're going to race at race pace. You're going to work on transitioning. You're going to work on your race day nutrition, but you're not necessarily going to be tapering to this event. You're going to try hard. You're going to race hard, but you're necessarily, the podium finishes isn't the focus here. It's more about getting through the race and building in there. You're going to swap out one of your harder workouts for this race on it. And then you've got your C races, and these are what I like to call my fun races. These races generally are just going to be in place of a brick workout. There's absolutely zero tapering to this. I'm going to do some race day nutrition. I'm going to practice some skills. Most of the time what I like to do with these is I'll do a shorter distance race. So if I'm swimming an Olympic distance race as an A race, I might have a C race leading up to it or a B race leading up to it. That's the sprint distance. So here's what I've got done right here for me. So I've got my June, my July, my August and September. So you can see here my 2 A races. I've got my Denmark race here in July, and then over here in September, I've got my Barrelman race. And after each of them, you can see that I've got these rests here. Rest week here so that so I'm recovering here for it. And after this A race, I'm going to go back into a specialty phase. So I want to talk about the Denmark race in particular. So in June, 5 weeks out, I'm doing Guelph 1, and this is going to be one of my B races. So here I'm coming into this race. I'm going to race this one hard. It's going to be the first race I race on my on Black Lightning, my TT bike, with all my current race day setup for Denmark. So I want to practice transitioning from the swim into the bike. I'm going to work on my flying bike mount for this race. And then the next following weekend, I'm going to do a C race, and that's Rose City Welland. It's a 60K bike and a 2K swim. And this race in particular, I'm going to work on my race pace. So I'm going to swim this swim as if I'm swimming 3 kilometers, and I'm going to bike it as if I'm biking 120 kilometers for Denmark. So in this, I'm going to work on all my techniques and working on pacing and everything in that race so that I'm ready for Denmark. And that's going to give me 3 weeks to get ready for Denmark, another week of hard riding in here, last kind of tweaking of my race, and then I've got 2 weeks to taper down to Denmark. So that's kind of what I've done here. And then after Denmark here, I start getting back into my specialty phase of my training, getting ready. I'm going to come into August here, and currently right now we've got Kingston as a B race. For it, it's another long distance race. I really want to try Kingston with the Multiport Series. It was on my radar last year. I didn't get to do it. So I want to do that this year and really have fun there, and I want to perform well, but it's going to be a B race. So I'm still going to go hard, and I'm going to tweak what I learned from Denmark in preparation for Barrelman. And the final kind of B race I've got here, I've got Wasaga Beach race. That was my first triathlon Aquabike race I ever did. with it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to do it, and I'm hoping to do it as a relay. That's what that R stands for. So I'm hoping to do that with a relay with my wife. She's starting to take up running again, and I'm hoping, we've talked about doing a race as a couple, and we really like to do that and do that as a relay. So we're going to use that as like a B race for me, where I'm going to do well, but the focus is going to be working as a partner and working as a team for that relay there. And that's going to give me 4 solid weeks to get everything ready for the Ontario Championships for Barrelman. And Barrelman in the Aquabike race this year in Niagara Falls is also an age group qualifying for Spain. So really want to work there. There's 2 spots per age group there, and we're looking to win Barrelman this year. So really excited about that one. And Denmark, we're looking for top in my age group, the 35 to 39, as well as top 3 overall. So that's kind of how I plan my race season, building on my A races and working towards where my goals are and pacing in them. That way I'm not getting a lot of training stress loads, because if I was to do, say, Guelph 1 as an A race, and then try to get ready for Denmark, there's not enough time in there to get ready. So I'd much rather do it as a B race, make it part of my training, so that when I'm pacing it, I'm not trying to go full out, but I'm holding a little bit back in there so that I'm ready to start training again and more of training races, guys. So there we go. That's what I'm doing this year. Have great fun. If you like what you saw, give her a thumbs up. And if you like more videos of this, hit that subscribe button there, guys. And race hard, guys. Remember, it's never crowded on the extra mile.